Hey, this is Trish Farr coming live from Lewiston, Maine. Just wanted to drop in and share some shit about myself, I guess. Where do I even begin? Well, I guess it started when I was in my early teens, maybe 12, 13-ish, smoking weed and taking Darvocets with my cousin that my aunt gave us. And it led from that until I was 18 when that same cousin of mine broke my knee. Um, I started on Vicodin. They gave me oxys not long after, 120 15s every 2 weeks at 18. And my addiction fueled from there, basically. My grandmother raised me since birth, and at 20, she died, and up until that point, I was still on my oxy medication. I had taken a few too many because by then I was attached to them, and my tolerance had gone up. Everything was just chaos and unfolded, and so I was only a couple pills short of my count. They cut me off, and that was the day I realized I was an addict, and everything changed. My whole world changed from then on. My grandmother had died. My addiction was now in full effect. I didn't know what to do. I had just regained conversation and a relationship with my mother, and she was also an addict, so it wasn't very helpful. And it just was a mess. I didn't admit it or realize I needed treatment for a while. And when I finally did, I had only tried oxys and pills and cocaine up until this point, and alcohol. So I thought that I needed some type of treatment to help get off of that for the withdrawal. So I went to methadone, did that for a couple of years. That gained a bunch of weight, had no ambition, thought my life was going nowhere. One day I decided to get off that and never really understood that I could not never take another pill or another drink or anything to that effect because I didn't know that it would just lead me right back to the same thing I had just left. So I did that, and it slowly spiraled, slowly. I got another injury to the same knee. My kneecap was fully repaired. I had no insurance, no medication. I was in pain, had staples in my knee, and someone gave me my first dose of heroin. And that was like the greatest, worst day of my entire life. I loved it, and hated myself all at once, but felt like a fucking hero. And that seemed like it fixed everything, all the emotional damage I was dealing with, all the physical, everything that had ever bad happened to me, it felt like it fixed it at that moment. I had never realized the chaos waiting for me that I thought I had already gone through, and maybe knew what to expect because I've done this before, I thought, but I was way wrong. I thought that I could maybe take Suboxone and just try to be sober, and like after the first time I tried it, it was hell to get off. I would take Suboxone for a couple of days but go right back to it. It just never ended until finally I recently got into a huge fight, almost divorced with my wife. She left me because I got very angry and scary while using, and so that forced me to look at myself and know that I'm getting older, my life's going nowhere. I just lost the best thing in my life, my whole world, and I needed help. So I checked myself into the hospital, figured that if I would get better, she would come back to me and I would be okay and we would be happy ever after. Well, she wanted nothing to do with me still, and told me I needed to work on myself and that she needed to figure things out. In my mind, I was devastated because I just wanted her to tell me it was okay and everything was okay and we were okay, and she didn't. And for so long, I've been used to that instant gratification that it just was, I couldn't take it. So I signed up for IOP and counseling and started doing that because that was the only thing left. And then if I didn't do that, I was going to up heaven, hell, wherever, I don't know. But I did that, and so I went through the hospital, went through the detox, got put on Suboxone, go through IOP, dealing with all that. And my wife finds out how good I'm doing and that I'm really changing and that I want to do better and be better for us. So she came and found me and we talked and we got better together. And things aren't perfect. There's nowhere near perfect. We have a long way to go, but we are a long way from where we started. And I am proud to say that a lot of people are proud of me now. I'm proud of myself now. And I love being sober. I love being happy. Today was one of the worst days of my sobriety so far, and I felt like I needed to do this and talk about it. So here I am, and I hope that this helps somebody, and I hope that I can look back up and see how far I've come one day. Have a good day. Stay safe and sober, everybody, one day at a time.